Hello everyone, Planty here. Just a quick one. Apparently on the upload from this morning, there was some issues with sound. People were garbled up and we were all over the shop. I fixed that now, I hope. Thank you very much to those people that reported it. You truly are our top fans and we appreciate you. I certainly do anyway. John doesn't have any clue this has happened. So yeah, go ahead, listen, enjoy, and get a load of Aaron and some of the best facts that we've ever had on this podcast. Cheers.
Hi guys, on this show we're looking at Hackman, Kahn, Mars, Garr, Leachman, Feldman, Boyd and Wilder. We're looking at 1974's Young Frankenstein.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Planty, and I've got a bit ready.
And I'm the guy, John, and I've got all the bits ready.
Show us your bits.
No again.
John, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. You're the better for seeing your beautiful wee face with your broken hand.
A couple of weeks, the hand is well and truly on the way to being better. And Good. I've got a gnarly little scar to go with it.
Oh, and would the chicks dig?
Not me. That's
money.
Big Schwanstuckers, apparently. We are the podcast tries to learn 100 things from every film that we talk about. If you've been on our socials, you've seen I've been jutting around London trying to get people to believe that I have any fucking clue what I'm talking about outside famous landmarks. And it's been good. It's been fantastic.
I love that. I've been enjoying watching them. They're brilliant.
We've had some decent feedback about those. I don't know why. It's just me stood outside the fucking Globe Theatre. But if you like what we do, you can give us a quid and you will get the opportunity to pick a film, which is exactly what has happened here. You do that at patreon.com/100 things film. This film has been picked by a friend of the podcast, long-time listener and non-time being on until now, Aaron from Zed1 Podcast. Hello, mate.
Hello, boys.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, very, very well.
Good.
It's a little bit wet around here. Feels like I'm on the set of Yellow Submarine, but yeah.
I thought you were going to say Poseidon Adventure for a second.
That's the follow-up. That's the follow-up.
The Raising of the Titanic 7.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Aaron, of course, as I said, is a part of the Z1 podcast. It is an audio drama podcast. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I don't like the word audio drama.
But it is. It's proper. It's audio. It's drama. It's got it all.
No, me and my wife, we basically struggle through the zombie apocalypse and our marriage one ep at a time through the Cotswolds, and particularly the town where I'm recording from, Farringdon, because it is a real place. That's basically it. It's a lovely little audio drama. I think Shaun of the Dead meets Archers, but a little bit more sweary, I guess.
It's really good. What I tend to do is I save episodes because it's roughly about, including catch-up, about 20-25 minutes long.
Not even that. No.
So I save them up and listen to them all when I'm out walking one day or when I'm out doing something or if I'm out gardening. So at the minute, I think I'm probably still a couple of months behind.
Oh, yeah. I know you're fine. Yeah. Absolutely fine. We're yet to do a season 4. We will get to it at some point, but yeah.
Yeah, and then I like to binge them all together. They're great fun.
Is it in the post-apocalypse?
Moving on. Aaron, of course, you've picked a film for us. What did you pick?
Oh, well, I could have picked a zombie film. In fact, I gave you a choice of a few, but went with Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's kind of in keeping with our spooky season.
Yeah.
That we're trying to do. Young Frankenstein. Any particular relationship with this film before today, Aaron?
Yeah, definitely. My dad used to watch this pretty much religiously. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, it's passed on son to son, I think. Many a Sunday was spent watching a dodgy VHS copy of this. I didn't even realise it was black and white for 10 years or so. We had a black and white telly growing up, so everything was black and white. Snooker wasn't much fun.
The red ball's one next to the yellow ball. Yeah.
That's it. That's what it was for. It's for me.
brilliant. Great film. One of my absolute favourites, and I did have a copy on standard def DVD that I had to break out when the streaming service that I was using kaputted the other day. So that was quite good. But 1974, John. What other films could we have been talking about?
Well, have they listened to our Thingy podcast or Death Wish podcast?
Was Death Wish 1974?
1974,
Wow.
Big man, aye.
Oh,
It's all
Frankie, Blamo.
So there's lots goes on. There's lots going on. So there's the original Taking of Pelton 1, 2, 3.
Oh, what a movie that is! That's on the list, by the way. I love that film.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's on my list.
Herbie rides again, which is one of my favourites. Huckleberry Finn. I remember watching all these, man. I am so sad. The Gambler.
Kenny Rogers or the James Caan one. The James Caan one. Oh, that's a good movie.
Chinatown. Jesus.
Forget it, John. It's Chinatown.
The Parallax View, which weirded me out when I watched it first time. No,
never even heard of it.
Murder on the Orient Express. What
was that on the Orient Express, John?
Murder.
Murder.
A puckle burglar alarm causing murder on the Orient Express. There you go.
Your murder.
Murder. There's been a murder.
Fantastic. We are going to go through Try and Learn 100 Things and spoilers a plenty. If you like what we do, follow us on all of our socials at 100thingswelearnfromfilm.co.uk. That would be good fun. Before we start, and it is going to be a comedy podcast, but before we start, we have got a fact from long-time listener, or two long-time listeners, Jen and James, and patrons as well. And they wanted to give us a special fact ahead of the show. So it gives us a heads up. So over to those lovely people now.
In order to stop himself laughing during takes,
Mel Brooks stuffed a handkerchief into his mouth.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate that particular fact. Jen and James have been patrons and listeners for a long time. Sadly, James passed away on Saturday, but we wanted to honour him as best we could by having him record something before he did. He knew he was poorly. Jen, all of our love goes out to you because we know it's such a difficult time for you and the family. And we really, really did appreciate James listening and the laughs that you told us that you two had listening.
And honestly, honoured to have that recording. It's just such a nice thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely,
yeah, fantastic. So, on with the comedy podcast, gentlemen, shall we?
There you go.
Because it's what James would have wanted. Exactly that. Right, okay. Fact number one. Did either of you have that fact, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I had that about Gene Wilder.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I had that about Gene Wilder.
Well, there you go. So, actually, a fact that we didn't have. So, good work, the two of you. We love you very much. Okay. Right, it opens with the titles Young Frankenstein. It is a Mel Brooks film, so everything's Mel Brooks here. No need, back in 1974, it was a 20th Century Fox as well, but we've done that up the fucking wazoo.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't meant to be.
Go for it.
It was meant to be Columbia.
Oh, right, okay.
But they didn't give them enough money, and they thought it was unnecessary to shoot it in black and white.
Oh, right, okay.
So, yeah,
there's the artist's vision, though, John, of course.
Exactly.
And it was to help evoke the atmosphere of the earlier films. It was shot in black and white, and it employed 1930s style opening credits and scene transitions such as iris outs, wipes, and fade to blacks, which along with star wipes, were ripped 3 years later by that fucking arsehole George Lucas.
Ruined it.
I've never ever got over how bad the transitions in Star Wars are. And I never noticed until I went to film school, and then now I can't help but notice it. It's its 50th anniversary in December. It made 86 million off of a 2.78 million budget. Fucking hell, that's not bad, is it?
On the credits, I seen there was a guy, John Morris was the composer.
Okay,
also remember them because he'd done a lot of Mel Brooks' stuff, but he also did the soundtrack for The Elephant Man.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't have that. That's a good one.
It is.
Oh, brilliant. 9 Mel Brooks films, and various others from the cast of this, including Clue, which has got Madeline Kahn in.
Yeah.
Oh, what a gorgeous lady
And the
she was.
flames on the side of my face. God, what a cast that is.
It's great.
It's brilliant.
Fucking great movie.
Was the other one Haunted Honeymoon? Was that? No,
Gene Wilder.
Still
Yeah.
good. Still good, though.
Is
Still
it,
good.
though?
Dom DeLuise? Aye.
Dom DeLuise. Silence of the Hams, I think, was Dom DeLuise's last film. Maybe we need to do one of those.
Maybe we do.
We've
No
talked about
Cannonball
doing
Run.
Repossessed, haven't we?
Yeah.
Brooks said on Morris's death, he was my emotional right arm. Music tells you what to feel, and he knew what I wanted you to feel. He composed it, and he made it happen. Oh,
Nice.
I love that. Anyway, back to the film. This coffin opens, and the coffin says, Baron von Frankenstein. When it's opened, there's this gnarly body in it, clutching a box. And when someone goes to take it, the hands clenched around it just will not let it go. And there's this push and pull thing, and it's pretty fucking
That's funny.
still. That's rigor mortis. Rigor mortis is the post-mortem stiffening of muscles caused by the depletion of adenosine triophosphate, or ATP, which I think is one of those little motorbikes you ride
It
around.
is.
I thought it was a
I was about to
band,
say that.
K-pop band.
It is necessary for the breakdown of actin myosin filaments in the muscle fibers, or something from the internet. The box is seen in the hands of this old man who's now in a biology class. Gene Wilder's character says the brainstem consists of the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. So there is a fact. Class is being hosted by Gene Wilder's character. And this kid says, I have a question, Dr. Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein, like bouquet.
Yeah. Hyacinth.
But aren't you the grandson of Victor Frankenstein? Yes, but it's pronounced Frankenstein. It's good. They bring in this old man, Mr. Hilltop, right?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Mr. Hilltop's great to show how motor impulses and reflex movements are related. He threatens him with a knee to the balls, and Hilltop flinches. It's a really good comedic knee to the balls kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
He then suggests removing the impulse and knees him in the balls, and he doesn't flinch. When he removes these clamps that he's put on, the old man collapses, and they wheel him out on the gurney. Give him an extra $1.
Yeah, turns out that's crap. Whatever that procedure was.
Oh, right, okay.
Posterior nerve root. It's at the bottom of the spine, not the top.
Oh,
top
John,
find.
why?
Oh, sorry, guys. He was also in Blazing Saddles, by the way.
He is in Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
He's the priest, isn't he? Because they're all called Johnson. Smithson? I can't remember what they're all called.
Johnson, yeah.
Johnson, yeah. He was 57 here, lads.
I had that one.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry, mate.
57.
Do you know what? If I look that good at 57, I've done all right.
Oh, my God.
The amount I drink. One of the students asked, didn't Darwin preserve a piece of vermicelli in a glass case until it gained independent movement? And I thought, I don't remember this bit. What is this bit from? And then what spaghetti is this? He means, you mean the worm or the pasta? And he says, look, a worm isn't a person. Wasn't the whole point of your grandfather's work bringing back to life a person? My grandfather's work was doo-doo. I'm not interested in death, just life. And then he stabs a scalpel into his thigh angrily.
Oh, God.
And this perfect crossing of the legs to kind of hide it. Class dismissed. Vermicelli, anybody?
Yeah, vermicelli. I actually know a bit about this scene because about the worms and the spaghetti. It actually comes from a bit of a brain fart from Mary Shelley herself.
Okay.
There's actually a hat tip to that. So Mary Shelley, in one of her later forwards of Frankenstein, one of the later editions, mentions vermicelli. And she's trying to recall a experiment that Darwin did. And this is Erasmus Darwin, not Charles Darwin that we know.
His father?
Me?
Grandfather. So it
right,
was very much into the same thing, and erotic poetry for some reason. But we all need
Jazz
a hobby,
Rasmus.
right?
Jazz Rasmus.
But he was actually experimenting with vorticelli, which is a marine worm. So that's where the mix-up comes in. And of course, she mentions vermicelli, which literally translates as little worms, which is obviously the spaghetti. So that's why he says, are you speaking of the worm or spaghetti? Yeah. Because Mary Shelley couldn't remember exactly.
Oh wow! Right, okay. That is that's such a deep reference.
I know. It's a really good hat tip.
Deep kind of show tune references coming up that are really deep, and I got those. I didn't get that one, so well done. Differences between vermicelli and spaghetti is the difference in thickness. Ain't that always the truth? Vermicelli is apparently between 2.08 and 2.30 millimeters. Spaghetti, 1.92 and 2.00 millimeters. There you go.
There we go.
Spaghetti.
All comes out the same.
I said red M&M, blue M&M. They all come out the same in the end. The old man with the box is Falkstein. He's travelled 5,000 miles to bring the will of Frankenstein. Just keeping it tight.
How many thousand miles?
5,000, he said.
Oh, well, looks like the University of Southern California in Los Angeles to Transylvania is 6.3
miles
away.
Oh, thousands. Oh, right, okay. Oh, you see. Again, John, why must they?
Things were shorter back in the old day.
That's it. Metric.
How many hogsheads to the gallon? That's the question. Next up is this train platform. Frederick's off to the old country. He's saying goodbye to Elizabeth, his fiancée, Madeline Kahn. I adore Madeline Kahn.
Lovely.
Everything she's in. She's beautiful. She's funny. She's talented.
Is this is her debut in it? This is a.
Oh, is it really?
Was it really? I didn't know that.
I think it is, eh?
Wow. Every time he goes to kiss or touch her, she doesn't allow him. The nails, my hair, taffeta, darling. Taffeta, darling is great. No, the dress. It's taffeta.
But the elbow handshake was forward thinking.
Yeah. Jesus, we were all doing that in 2020, weren't we? Taffeta from the Persian word tafta, which means silk or linen cloth. It's used in ball gowns and wedding dresses due to being stiffer and holding its shape better. Chance would be a fine thing.
The Montgolfier brothers used it in their experiments for the first hot air balloons.
Did they really?
They did 1782, boys.
Wow, look at this.
What are the facts? Taffeta, darling.
Taffeta, darling. On the train, we see him travel from New York to Transylvania. This brilliant bit where it stops at New York, and these two old people, this old man, this old woman, are like having a conversation, arguing, and then the next stop is Transylvania, and they're arguing in German or Yiddish. I couldn't quite figure it out. But it's exactly the same lines
word for word
in a different language.
Oh, wow,
which
really?
is so clever.
He was reading the Lancet magazine.
Oh, right, okay.
So it turns out it's a real journal. So it's a medical journal that aims to make science accessible to the public, and it was founded in 1823.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Back in the day, big man.
And he was in the Rauchen cabin. Rauchen is German for smoke, which means he was in the smoking compartment.
Oh, right. Oh, wow. I didn't see anybody smoking.
No, there wasn't.
If Madeline Kahn was on there, she'd be smoking.
Oh, yeah. You better believe it. The train pulls up, right? Train pulls up in Transylvania. Gentlemen, Transylvania, part of Hungary, in the 11th to the 16th century. It became part of the Ottoman Empire in the 16th and 17th century, so you could put all your shoes in it. And Hungary in the 17th to the 20th century. It is now where, gentlemen?
Romania.
Romania, absolutely. Yeah. Where you left it, just west of the Urals. On the platform, he leans out the window, and I loved this. I giggled like a fucking child this minute. Pardon me, boy, is this the Transylvania station? Yeah, track 29. Can I give you a shine? And I laughed really hard at a reference that is far too old for me to I should even get at all. As, of course, Chattanooga Choo Choo. a 1941 song written by Mac Gordon, 2 first names. It was the first song to receive a gold record presented by RCA Victor Records in 1942 for sales of 1.2 million copies.
Wow. That's well done.
Covered by Barry Manilow in 1994. Forgive me, listeners, if I didn't look that one up. I have not. It's also been recorded in Dutch, German, Italian, and Finnish. He's not finished. He's a choo-choo train. How many stations have 29 tracks? I found the Grand Central Terminal is the Grand Central Terminus in New York City, spread over 49 acres, and has 44 platforms and 67 tracks on 2 levels. It is the world's largest train station by number of platforms and area occupied.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
And running for a train on that one.
Fantastic scene for that bit out of The Untouchables.
Oh, aye.
Yeah. Which I think has been in loads of comedy movies since.
There's been loads and loads.
On the platform, we hear a voice. Dr. Frankenstein and a hooded, mad-eyed man with a hump. It's Igor. It's Frankenstein. Do you also say Frodrick? No, it's Frederick. Oh, well, my name's Igor. Is it? No, it's Igor. It's good.
Classic.
He explains his grandfather used to work for Frederick's grandfather. And he goes, I'm a brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I could help you with that hump. What hump?
What hump?
Marty Feldman's a funny-looking guy, isn't he?
Yeah. A lot of surgery.
Did he?
Yeah. His eyes. Apparently went through a hell of a lot of surgeries, and that's why one of them was pointing out to me. But he's had a disease when he was younger.
Yeah,
And
Graves' disease, yeah.
Bloody hell.
And a very overactive thyroid. Weirdly, my dad has the same thing.
Oh.
He doesn't have quite the same mad, bizarre, fly-like eyes that Feldman has, but he has the same thing. Don't count that as a fact.
It's called Graves' disease.
Graves' disease is what...
Peter Graves' disease from Airplane.
It may well be.
Mission Impossible.
I didn't notice his eyes, to be honest with you.
Do you like films about Roman gladiators, Marty Feldman? He does this whole thing, doesn't he, of walk this way, and we do the kind of thing, and then he goes, no, walk this way, and he gives him his stick and makes him copy his lollop.
Did we all get the Aerosmith fact on this one?
1975 film by Aerosmith that made its number 10 in the USA and 7 in Canada, eh?
Yeah, but apparently it's inspired by that.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was read that a few times, and they keep referring back to it, but I don't know.
No, it has been used a lot of times in films in the past. So they did say that because the timing is about right, isn't it? 74.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, but the year after.
Yeah, so maybe.
There's a much popular and frankly miles better version with Run DMC from 1986. 13 in West Germany, 12 in Ireland, so it was, 8 here. Second where, John?
The Netherlands.
That's why we're here.
Everybody go home.
Right, that's it. Burn the thing down. Excellent work. They get to this straw. The cart's weird. The cart looks like it's actually made of straw.
And it's elongated. It's
It's a weird thing, isn't it? It's obviously the prop for the inside, as like that they use it for the shots of the inside, as well as just instead of having 2 separate vehicles for it, which save a few quid. And he jumps in the back. He makes him get in the back, and with Inga, his new lab assistant. Hello, would you like to have a roll in the hay? And I've had in my head all week, roll in the hay, all fucking week, like a child. The always brilliant Teri Garr, by the way, again, also beautiful.
Very.
Things that reasons why you shouldn't roll in the hay, gentlemen. Ooh. Hay mites, also known as straw itch mites or grain mites, live there. You'll get bit. Inhaling dust from hay can cause respiratory diseases and infections. And hay bales can spontaneously combust if the moisture level is above 20% or if the hay is damp or green. A chemical reaction occurs when the temperature of a haystack rises above 55 degrees, producing a flammable gas that can ignite.
I'll stick to asbestos then.
We're in farmland, so I can attest to that. It does.
Oh, right, okay.
Often. Yeah.
you can smell them when they're not far off doing it, can't you? You know, when they're going to go up. Yeah, it's a weird
Phenomenal.
wet but not wet smell. It's a funny yeah.
It's like my socks.
Jesus. As they travel, there's lightning, which scares Inga, and he goes, "It's just an atmospheric discharge," which is true. It occurs when there's an imbalance of charges between a cloud and another surface, such as the ground or another cloud. It is one of the leading weather-related causes of death in the USA today, along with not believing in global warming.
USA.
There's this howl as well, which scares her. And she goes, "Oh, it's a werewolf." And he goes, "Werewolf?" And the eagle says, "Werewolf. Their castle." Why are you talking like that? Well, I thought you wanted to.
That's brilliant.
So I've got one for this. According to some Romanian legends, werewolves are a result of children being conceived at Christmas and Easter, which was against their religious canon, with victims being cursed with malice, misfortune, hairy lips, and pointy ears.
Hairy lips are the worst, aren't
Like
they?
my ex. Realised she's conceived at Christmas. Yowzers. That's got to be up there with Fact of the fucking Show.
I didn't know that.
We're only halfway through.
He's got plenty.
They arrive at the castle and knock. I'm not entirely sure why they knock, because it is his castle.
Yeah.
And they're greeted by the always amazing Cloris Leachman.
Oh, lovely.
Frau Blucher. Yeah, right. So we hear horses in the distance neigh, and there's this, "After you, Frau Blucher." And she takes him into the castle, and Igor follows and turns, and then just turns to the castle and goes, "Blucher." There's neighing again. Now, for years and years and years, I always believed what I'd read or what I'd been told as to why the horses neighed. Did you guys kind of get this falsehood?
It just changes.
Go on.
Because
I think so,
I was always told Blucher meant glue.
Yep.
In German, and it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't. Just the internet and people over the years had convinced me that was the case. Things that are called Blucher, though. Gebhard Lebrecht von Blucher was a Prussian general field marshal. He earned his greatest recognition after leading the army against Napoleon at the Battle of the Nations at Leipzig in 1813 and the Battle of Waterloo in 1815.
Heck of a fact.
It's up there. The second of 5 Admiral Hipper-class heavy cruisers of Nazi Germany's Kriegsmarine launched in 1937 on the 8th of June. It was also called Liebrecht von Blucher. It was sunk in the Battle of Dobrich Sound on the 9th of April, 1940.
It's an anticlimax, isn't it?
Less than 3 years later.
Jesus.
It was sunk. What I couldn't find was how much it cost to build, because I wanted to do marks per day as to how much it cost. But I could... funnily enough, the Germans don't want to share that information.
I wonder why.
Cloris Leachman, though, I absolutely love. I've just finished watching all 3 series of Raising Hope on Disney while I've been off work, and she's brilliant as Mama. She won 8 Primetime Emmy Awards from 22 nominations, making her the most nominated, and along with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the most awarded performer in Emmy history. She won Best Supporting Actress Oscar and a BAFTA for The Last Picture Show in 1971.
Former Miss America as well.
Yeah, and again...
1946.
1946, good stuff. And again, tidy, for the want of a better term. Like, he absolutely got, like, proper beautiful, funny women in his movies.
Oh, God, didn't he? Definitely. Yeah.
And Joan Rivers.
Oh.
Well, Joan Rivers was a looker as well. Anyway, until
how's that
they
robot?
turned her into C-3PO. Top Matrix. Should we do that, John? I've been thinking about doing
so.
Spaceballs.
I was thinking about it when I was watching some of the Mel Brooks stuff.
So
I'm thinking,
good, isn't it? It's just, and I know it does the whole cash-in joke thing.
I ain't found shit. Line gets me every time.
That's great.
Shit.
And and the Mr. Coffee Machine, and when are we now? When and the thing for the no, sir, I didn't see you playing with your dolls. All of it's just fucking perfect. He's called fantastic. Colonel Sanders. That's good too. Oh fucking hell!
You can do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. She doesn't look Druish. Is again fucking so clever. Right, we can't do it now because we're doing it here.
Oh,
when now? Right, okay. She leads them up this staircase with no banister, which is horrifying to me. Any staircase without banister, because as John will attest to, we moved into this house; it didn't have a banister.
No banister.
It was weird as fuck.
Yeah, it was living the life, isn't you?
It's
living
like that fucking platform on the Death Star, you know, where the fucking laser goes through, and there's just a couple of blokes stood there going, "Hello."
It's the world's worst Airbnb. That.
They say they say goodnight, and Blucher offers him a brandy. No. Warm milk. No. Ovaltine. He's rebuffed them all.
Yeah.
As she leaves, she gives the portrait of his grandfather a kiss. Good night, darling. Good night, Dr. Frankenstein.
The Ovaltine one, made in 1904, but that was totally improvised.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, so it was one of those Gene Hackman ones a bit later on where everybody would just burst out laughing, but I actually just improvised that one.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's a malt extract of sugar, whey, and malt, sugar, and whey. You put it in hot
Swiss
milk.
chemist that made that. What the hell?
Was a Swiss chemist. It was originally developed in Bern, Switzerland, by Albert Wander, as you said, 1904, and it's originally called Ovomaltine, which is just a mouthful of words.
Why did that not stick?
I know, yeah, exactly.
To the roof of your mouth.
The name is derived from ovum, which is Latin for egg, and malt. Ovum. Glass of ovum, anybody? You're all right.
Not today, you've had mine already, thank you. But are we Ovaltine or are we Team Horlicks here?
Ovaltine. Growing up, my gran used to always make me a
Ovaltine was yours.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I'm a Horlicks. I don't recall having that much Ovaltine in my life, and certainly not much Ovaltine.
Horlicks always ends up with that horrible skin on the top.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's going to put me right off it.
Just the thought of it. I'll just have half a gallon of whiskey. That usually gets me right off to sleep. Again, there's a good night from Blucher and there's a neigh. Later that night, Frederick's having a nightmare where he refuses to accept that he's a Frankenstein. Inga arrives and wakes him up. There's violin music coming from behind the bookcase. We get this brilliant bit where they locate the triggering mechanism in a candle holder. It spins around and he's behind it. Put the candle back. It's very, very specific way he does it. He blocks the bookcase with his body, and then the voice is, now listen very carefully. Like this Mickey Mouse
good.
voice.
That is good.
Squeezed all the air out.
That's
It's fantastic. And then she pushes through and then does exactly the same thing. Put the candle back. It's great. If you've not seen this, what are you doing listening to this?
Yeah, I know. Get it done.
They head down some stairs into an old laboratory with skulls showing a number of years dead. And we pan along to it till it comes to freshly dead. And it's who?
Igor.
It is. It's Igor. He frightens them by singing, I ain't got nobody. Which I absolutely loved. Of course I did.
Oh, from a production point of view, a couple of those skulls were real. Like,
okay.
Poltergeist, but that's it. Apart from
I knew you were going to reference Poltergeist as soon as you started saying that. I knew you were.
Apart from the second to last one, which was handmade.
Okay. Oh, right. Oh, wow. I Ain't Got No Body 1915 song by Spencer Williams and Roger Graham, 4 first-name wankers. covered by Dave Lee Roth and, checks notes, the Village People.
What?
Featured in that Jack Black Mos Def film that I wanted to be so much better, Be Kind Rewind.
No.
I was really disappointed by that. The trailer was phenomenal, but it was all the best bits of the film.
It really was.
It's not his best, but then you struggle to find his best past School of Rock.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, and after that whole thing with
the jackal, they just shot him.
After that whole thing of throwing fucking KG under the bus earlier on this year.
Terrible.
And we recently watched Borderlands, and he's the fucking worst thing in what is easily the worst film I've seen all year. Jack Black is so annoying. Release the fucking non-claptrap cut. Please, if somebody can do me a copy of that film which doesn't have that character in at all, it'd be brilliant. Thank you, please. He'd followed the music through the dumbwaiter, he says, doesn't he, Igor? Dumbwaiter, or Spessenversuch in German. The mechanical dumbwaiter was invented by George W. Cannon, a New York City inventor. He filed the patent for a brake system that could be used in a dumbwaiter on January 6th, 1883. And then the patent for the mechanical dumbwaiter on February the 17th, 1887. He reportedly generated vast royalties from the patents until his death in 1897. Which wasn't that long, really.
No.
He followed the music through the dumbwaiter, and he says, call it a hunch. Badum-tish. I like the badum-tish. They hit the lights, and we see a huge range of machines, which, of course, gentlemen, are the original machines from
1931's Frankenstein.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why the gentleman at the very, very beginning got a thank you. Did you notice on the credits?
Strickfaden.
Yeah, absolutely. His first Hollywood film was Frankenstein in 1931. He's an electrician, and he's got over 100 credits on IMDb, including The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, what did he do there? I can't remember anything in that would... Oh, maybe some of the Oz's machinery, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. They follow a light beyond this further door, and they find the violin. It's still warm, which I kind of like.
That cracks me up.
They find a cigar smouldering and a book, and the book's called How I Did It by Victor Frankenstein. Sometime later, Frederick's reading the book out loud. It could work. And the next morning, Frederick and Inga are having kippers for breakfast.
Smoke me a kipper.
Kippers for breakfast, Aunt Helga? Is it St. Swithin's Day already? "'Tis," replied Aunt Helga. Kippers are a small herring, butterflied and smoked over wood. They are highly nutritious, rich in omega-3, vitamin B12 and vitamin D. And the reason they're so popular is they were known as an affordable wild protein in the 1800s.
Nice.
They are tasty though.
Yeah, that and Smokies. I absolutely love Arbroath Smokies. Yeah, you were in Whitby the other week. Aaron, were you not?
It's been a while, but yeah, Katie certainly was. She was up that way.
Did you get some kippers for that?
No, she wouldn't have done kippers. No, she does like the scampi and a local fish up there, because you can't get it around here. Let's face it, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, she enjoys.
I hope she bought you some rock back.
Nah, no.
What?
Just a couple of kids.
The least you could have done is bought you some rock and left the kids.
Exactly.
Or brought you a fridge magnet or something.
Jesus, they're not me. Where I go, fridge magnet. The book suggests to make the monster larger, they can get the body to work. Inga suggests he would have to have a huge Schwanstucker. Anything on Schwanstuckers, gentlemen?
Yeah, I have. Schwanz is actually German for tail.
Right.
And is slang for the male member over there. So Tucker is just an adage that Mel Brooks added, so as he used to do with some of his words.
To make it funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. Frederick tells us that he needs someone 7 feet in height with all the proportions to go with it. And Igor draws this fantastic sketch of 100% just Peter Boyle.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The next shot we see is this body, this Peter Boyle-shaped body being hanged by the neck and then being put into a grave. They go and they dig him up, and the line is, "What a filthy job!" And Igor says, "It could be worse. It could be raining," and then it rains, and we all laugh. They get the body in the cart and they take it through the town, but the coffin falls off the cart and breaks open. A hand falls out, and as they try and get it back, this police officer approaches, and Frederick has to cover the coffin with a blanket and pretend the hand is his. It's very good acting because it's far too big.
It's really thick, isn't it?
And then he goes to shake the cop's hand. He's like, "Oh, you're frozen through."
It was like Jeremy Beadle, wasn't it?
Men of a certain age laughing at a disabled TV host.
Oh,
of course. Watch out, Boyle's about. Back at the castle, the plan is to get a magnificent brain. Plan is for Igor to go and get the brain of Hans Delbruck from the brain depository. Not a real thing.
Yep.
I loved the sign after 5 p.m. slip brain through slot, though. I was quite big into that. Inside, Igor manages to drop the brain of Hans Delbruck and just fucking splatters it, doesn't he?
It's
fucking
destroys
gross.
it, yeah.
And scientist and saint, it says on the thing. Luckily, there's 2 others. Charles Opie, missionary, and the one he picks up says, "Do not use abnormal."
Abnormal,
yeah.
So do we know who Hans Delbruck was?
Absolutely. I just assumed he was made up.
Well, it's kind of a tricky thing because he was a real person and he was a German historian and a war strategist during World War One, and he had a particularly pessimistic view of Germany's chances of winning. So, well done him for getting that right. But it wasn't really thought of that Mel Brooks knew who he was until some years later. So it might have just been one of those things like coincidences.
Just a name. Yeah, he's just picked a name up. Wow, okay. That's why we do this. Back at the lab, Igor's flying this kite on the roof for the lightning to strike. Can you imagine the brain of Hans Delbruck in this body? Inga, elevate me. What, right here? Yes, raise the platform. Oh, yes, that. I like Teri Garr's great. Nominated for a Best Supporting Actress Oscar and BAFTA for Tootsie. She lost to Jessica Lange, who was Best Supporting Actress in the same film. You've got to be gutted with that, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. God, aye.
Frederick's line here is great. From that fateful day when stinking bits of slime first crawled from the sea and shouted to the cold stars, "I am man. Our greatest dread has always been the knowledge of our mortality. But tonight we shall hurl the gauntlet of science to the frightful face of death itself. Tonight we shall ascend to the heavens. We shall mock the earthquake. We shall command the thunders and penetrate her into the very womb of the impervious nature herself." It's brilliantly delivered. It really is.
Oh, no, it's good.
We go through the raising of the monster, and it's basically a love letter to the Universal original. And you can tell that Brooks loves the 31 film because of just the way he's shooting it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they had to fight for it being black and white, and they nearly got duped. I think 20th Century Fox tried to dupe him into making a colour version, but they didn't fall for it.
It would have to be like kind of the old style Technicolor colour for me. If it was going to be colour, it would have to be, where...
Like the sort of...
Like the Wizard of Oz looks in colour. It would have to
House
be
of Horror kind
really
of
bright.
Yeah, no, totally.
The bright colours would be really bright, and the dark...
Right, and the dark,
would be really washed out kind of thing. That would kind of work for me. But I because we know all these characters, or we know these type of characters, it works in black and white. It's like that colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life. Why would anybody watch the colorized version? Because it just makes them look like fucking they're in Dawn of the Dead. They all look like the Hare Krishna zombie in Dawn of the Dead. They're all right funny colour. Jesus. He checks and there's no heartbeat. If science teaches us anything, it's to accept our failures with quiet dignity and grace. And he starts his histrionics. I go to the camera, quiet dignity and grace. At a town meeting, the townspeople are not happy that there's a Frankenstein in residence, including this bloke who sounds like me doing Cockney accent, doesn't he? what I want to do is rule the world.
That's exactly what I thought as soon as it opened his bloody mouth. I was like,
No, fucking hell.
dubbing
Plenty,
this for me.
here. Inspector Kemp takes the stage. And he has a mechanical arm? Question mark.
Yeah.
Really didn't know what that was about.
Yeah, what though? For the later scenes, but
it's fun, but I was kind of what?
I mean, the monocle over the eye patch.
Oh yeah, that's perfect, Mel Brooks.
That's a go to the part. I was reading the production part, and apparently he got to the part because he came dressed, and they actually put that.
No way.
Really?
No way.
Yep. So that's why he got to the part.
Fucking hell. He suggests before they kill anyone, they need to make sure that he's guilty. And I've written phonetically what he says, and I absolutely no idea what I've written. Oh, follows in his father's footsteps. They all go, what? And he goes, follow in his father's footsteps. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Footsteps.
I did it.
Footsteps, that's the one. That's great. Kenneth Mars, by the way, that plays the Inspector, was also King Triton in The Little Mermaid. He's The Little Mermaid. Not with a German accent, disappointingly. Frederick isn't taking it very well, but down in the lab, the monster starts to stir and groan. Upstairs at dinner, Igor, what's this? Sarts Volta Kurtistag or similar. And there's a groan. Oh, you like it? Well, I didn't say anything. You made a yummy sound. I didn't make a yummy sound. A yummy sound is what I'm going to say from now on. And then there's another groan. They head downstairs. The monster's alive. And, of course, we get the iconic "It's alive!" which you could instantly move him from that bit into the original 31 and you wouldn't know any difference.
Yeah.
I have something on Schwarzwälder Kirchtod.
Oh, well done. You got it right. Oh, Kirchtod.
Yes,
Go
it's
for it.
better known as, and you probably know it as this, Black Forest Gatto.
Is it really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Schwarzwälder.
Yeah.
Kirchtod, if it's called that in Germany by law, it has to have Kirsch in it, which is the cherry brandy that they do.
Cherry brandy, right.
Reminds me of going backstage. Like, I don't know how you guys are fitted up for Lidl's, but back in the day, when they first opened, they just used to have cheese, sausage, and cherry brandy, and that was it.
To my mind, that's all I go in there for.
Shopping list.
Yeah, absolutely.
The largest Black Forest Gatto was created in 2006, 33 feet in diameter, consisted of 700 litres of cream, 5,600 eggs, 800 kilos of cherries, 40 kilograms of chocolate shavings, and 120 litres of Kirsch.
Wow.
That'd have done me a week.
Yeah. I mean, some poor old girl's got to wash that up, eh? In 74, they would have done.
Frederick removes the restraints and orders the monster to stand. He walks his first steps. Igor lights a cigarette and the monster goes crazy, choking Frederick, causing him to have to do charades. They half figure it out. It ends up being...
Sedative.
Give him a sedative.
Sedative.
And it's that whole thing. Yeah, you're right. Brilliant. That is... Oh, it's perfect. Frederick knows the brain isn't Hans Delbrooks. Igor tells him it's Abby someone, Abby normal. It's good. Are you saying I put an abnormal brain in a 7'5" tall, 50-inch wide gorilla? And then the door goes. Frederick and Kent are playing darts. Frederick explains monsters aren't real, it's superstition. The inspector explains as long as there's a Frankenstein in residence, the people will have concerns. Frederick's throwing darts everywhere but the board. And when the inspector leaves, you see his driver's got one in his hat, and all the tyres are fucking peppered with them, and the car's driving on flats.
But you only see two go out the window, right?
Yeah.
But there's like 8 in the car, and obviously one in the driver's
helmet.
Yeah,
there's loads.
It's like, is that a deleted scene or what? It's like, where did all that's come from?
It's much funnier. It's much funnier that way.
Too funny.
Back in the lab, Frau Blucher sets free the monster, and of course he goes mad until she plays the violin. It causes him to be calm. Frederick realises that she was the one playing the music and smoking the cigar. Your grandfather was my boyfriend. Just then the monster falls into a machine, gets electrocuted, and heads off in a rampage. This bald cap on Peter Boyle, by the way, doesn't look great in HD. I got to be honest.
No, it's got a ridge on it. You see the ridge at the top of his head? Oh, Jesus.
But it was foreshadowing because Peter Boyle ended up with hair like that in.
Yeah.
It was probably that did
Raymond.
it.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. This little bit here, this scene, like the next couple of scenes here, are brilliant for me. There's this little girl picking petals off of her flower by a well when the monster arrives, and from the original, this child gets fucking murdered in the original films, isn't it? Like just like drown in the river or whatever. And I don't think we've not mentioned the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the Kenneth Branagh one. I fucking love that film.
Oh,
you know, the De Niro's the monster.
Big Rab De Niro.
Yeah, and I know I shouldn't because it's shit, but it's really, really grim.
Aye.
Like,
it really is.
so much more so than any of the others do. And De Niro kind of doesn't work as the monster, but Branagh's brilliant in it, and Helena Bonham Carter's also great.
I still can't believe she read that when she was 18, man. That blows my mind. That was an 18-year-old.
There was nothing else to do.
Crazy. Well, true, aye.
Yeah. all else she had to do was go and work down the
Funnily
pit.
enough, it was through autumn and winter of 1816 and 1817, so it was a really cruel winter, that one. Imagine sitting there thinking about all these gory things.
So this girl's picking petals off a flower by a well when the monster arrives. She doesn't know how to pick the petals off and throw them. Oh no, nothing left. What should we throw now? And this fucking look
every time
from Peter Boyle.
Every time.
This tiny little grin. And this is where you kind of expect the child to have been thrown. But the cherry on the top is this brilliant little seesaw bit. The girl's parents are looking for her in the house and they play seesaw. He sits on the seesaw and catapults her through the window, and she just goes to sleep on the bed. Or she's dead?
Or she's unconscious. I mean, he'd have the bedpost.
Would you like to know about the high seesaw jump into a chair?
Yes, we would.
So it was achieved by Anastasia Mikhailova, Russian, obviously.
Was she getting away from Rasputin?
No, basically some dude jumped on the other side of a seesaw. It went 7.15 meters in the air, 23 feet and 5.5 inches. And she landed in a chair, and that was in 2014, and it's a Guinness World Record.
Jesus.
Wow. And it broke her pelvis, obviously.
Probably, yeah. They didn't see the aftermath. Ambulances were called, fire engines.
Record and pelvis breaker.
Of teeth. Yeah. That night, a lonely blind man. Who is it, John?
Uncredited Gene Hackman.
Uncredited Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
In the second film we've had him in, because I think we've only had him in 2 films on this.
Yeah.
Second film we've had him in, and both times he's been a religious man.
Yeah.
Because in the first one, it's Poseidon Adventure, where it's the priest that's lost his faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Quite rightly so.
Yeah. He wants a friend, and he's praying for a companion. The monster arrives, and he thinks you're a mute. A terribly big mute. He makes him some soup and spills it in his lap. Then a bottle of wine, and when they toast, he manages to smash the monster's mug.
Oh, it's so fun. And again, he does another look.
He's got just this fucking brilliant fourth wall breaking that only Mel Brooks does quite the way he does. And then finally, cigars. But instead of lighting the stogie, he lights his thumb on fire.
Funny.
And then storms off into the village. Wait, where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
What does it say? Don't suck until it
Oh
blows.
yeah, until the tip burns.
Aye. So obviously, massive wipe quickly there because apparently that line floored everybody and they couldn't reshoot it.
The espresso line.
The espresso I
Oh
made it.
really?
They literally made it.
So
So that's why it wipes away really quickly. But apparently
it does, yeah.
because everybody burst out laughing. He broke character, and then every time he tried to do it again, they couldn't do it. So they had to go with that one.
Oh wow!
He'd done that piece for free as well. Apparently, he was playing tennis with Gene Wilder, and he wanted to get into comedy, so he asked for a part, and he said he would do it for free, and he did.
When he's funny, he's very funny,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in spite of tragedy because his mother died in 1962 as a result of a fire she accidentally started while smoking.
Wow.
Yeah. He left home at the age of 16 and lied about his age to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. He served 4.5 years as a field radio operator before getting into acting. There you go. In the town, Frederick and the gang capture the monster in a net by playing the violin piece to him. Back at the castle, the line is, "Love is the only thing that can save this creature, and I will convince him at the cost of my own life. No matter what you hear, how much I beg and scream, do not open this door."
As soon as, even though I was younger and I heard them words, I'm like, he's going to regret
You know
that.
exactly what's going to happen. And almost the second they lock it, he starts screaming. The monster wakes up and he goes, "Hello, handsome. People hate you because they're jealous. You are the Olympian ideal. You are a god, and you are not evil. You are good." He's like, "You are a beautiful, beautiful mummy's boy." Isn't that all we really want to know, all of us?
Yeah.
He says, "I am going to teach you how to speak, to walk, and how to sing." It's good. And then Inga shouts in, "Dr. Frankenstein, are you all right?" And he responds,
I am a Frankenstein. A Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
He is a Frankenstein, yeah. And so we've gone full circle. Fantastic. Oh. Right. Sorry, guys. I have got a tiny little bit of cramp in my fucking foot because I haven't moved my foot for about 3 hours properly. Right. We're at a theatre now, and Frankenstein explains what he is sharing today is the gateway to immortality. He introduces the monster and offers up an example of the monster walking heel to toe and doing the same backwards. The lights go down, come back up. He's no longer wearing a smock. He's got a dinner suit, a top hat, and a cane, and they do putting on the Ritz. And I still laugh every single time at this, like a fucking drain.
When he says the words.
Yeah, because he says, "Do you guys want to do this?"
No, I'm not going to give it a go.
Like that? Right. Put on the Ritz!
And the other bit is good. Super duper.
Aye.
It's also really
So apparently
good.
they didn't know it was going to come out his mouth. Apparently,
Oh, really?
he did
Oh,
that.
wow.
They obviously said to him, "Look, sing it, but do it in such a way that." But that's what came out his mouth, and they just went with it.
Can you imagine being part of that for the first time anyone had ever heard that?
Fantastic! It wasn't rehearsed or nothing. Brilliant.
Putting on the Ritz, Irving Berlin published it on December the 2nd, 1929. This version of Putting on the Ritz was ranked 84th in the American Film Institute's 2004 list, 100 Years, 100 Songs. But of course, the one that we know most of all is the 1982 version by Taco. Massive around the world, inexplicably, John remembers. Like Pepperidge Farm. 13 in the stupid, sexy Flanders Ultra Pop. 12 where, Aaron?
Was it the Netherlands?
Oh, man.
Oh, I thought for a second he was going to ask us about the alcoves in Connington Park. You know this one? 6 in the Switzerland Toblerone Top 40 and 1 in the fucking Sweetie Man, Setetrica.
Secrets.
The Ritz London is a 5-star luxury hotel at 150 Piccadilly in London. The hotel was opened by Swiss hotelier Caesar Ritz in 1906, 8 years after he established Hotel Ritz Paris. Rachel and the Wilson family ladies had afternoon tea there earlier in the year, which is why we no longer have any money.
You'll be eating Ritz for the next few weeks.
Oh, mate. What that I wouldn't want to just live off fucking Ritz and
Ritz
Tuck
crackers.
biscuits for the rest of my life.
Happy
Salty,
days.
cheesy goodness.
Aye. Even the lemon puffs, that would do me.
Oh, yeah, I like those as well.
Aye, lovely.
Oh, nice bit of Wensleydale on them. Yes,
There
please,
was
vomit.
actually a very tall tap dancer Not quite 7.5 feet tall. He was 6 feet 6 inches. His name was Tommy Tune, a professional tap dancer from New York.
Oh, right. Okay.
He did Broadway and film during the 70s and 80s. He used to wear horizontal striped shirts to make himself look shorter because he was worried about his height.
Jesus.
What?
Oh.
That's new.
All right. Oh, God, fucking hell. I'm into that.
Told Tommy the tap dancer. What are you there?
A flashbulb goes off and he goes on a rampage. He's grabbed by the cops, carried and chained in the town jail. Frederick suggests if he could fix the cerebral imbalance, he would be right as rain. Inga says, I wish there was anything I could do for you to relieve the pressure. The next scene, Frau Blucher enters the lab and Inga and Fred are on the monster's platform post-coitus. I thought I told you never to disturb me when I'm working. Just a telegram, your fiancé is arriving tonight. And I suggest you put on a tie. It's a great line. It really is. Elizabeth arrives. She's not particularly taken with Igor and Elizabeth. Igor's great here, especially the bit where Igor, would you help me with the bags? Certainly. You take the blonde, and I'll take the one in the tote. Which is a really, really good Curly Howard impression, by the way, from the Three Stooges. Certainly, I love saying certainly. In the jail, we see a police officer taunting the monster with fire. This causes him to break out. The townspeople all have flaming torches. And Kent says, a riot is an ugly thing, but I think it is about time we had one. Yes, thanks. Back at the castle, Fred has learned of the monster's escape and explains to Elizabeth that they should sleep in the same room tonight, but she wants to wait till after her wedding. Madeline Kahn's brilliant here.
Yeah.
She starts singing Glory, Glory, Hallelujah as she's brushing her hair. And the voice is just amazing. The monster appears, grabs her and takes her. The battle hymn of the Republic, also known as Mine Eyes Have Seen the Glory, or Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, was written by the abolitionist writer Julia Ward Howe in 1861 during the American Civil War. Interestingly, and related kind of to this, the folk dance Golya, or Stork, known in several Hungarian-speaking communities in Transylvania, as well as Hungary, is set to the same tune.
No way.
Yeah, you see.
That
It
is
all
a
comes
quality
around.
fact. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In fact, all come around. We see the townsfolk hunting the monster with dogs, and in the woods we see he's carried the limp body of Elizabeth. He finds a dry place inside a cave to lay her down, and she wakes up. She offers him money to take her back until she sees his Schwanstucker. He embraces her, and she's singing the top of her voice, "Sweet Mystery of Life," from the operetta Naughty Marietta, the Victor Herbert operetta from 1910, which even in 1974 is a fucking push to find somebody that still remembers that, I assume. Let alone 2024 when we're doing it.
Well, Mel Brooks is like 194, so...
Well, yeah, he is. Yeah. We see them after, and she goes, "Penny for your thoughts?" Okay, 7 has always been my lucky number. She prepares to get defiled again. The music begins to play, and the monster heads out towards it. "Oh, you men are all the same. 7 or 8 quick ones, and you're off out with the boys to boast and brag. Well, you better keep your mouth shut. Oh, I think I love him."
So brilliant, isn't it? Fantastic.
To earn money while she was a college student, Madeline Kahn was a singing waitress at a Bavarian restaurant named Bavarian Manor. There you go.
Of course she was. What voice?
Peter Boyle, before deciding to pursue a career in acting, was a monk of the Christian Brothers Order.
Jesus. Literally, Jesus.
Or Jesus, I think, as he likes to be called. The music is Friedrich playing in the ramparts of the castle down this fucking ancient megaphone type thing. The monster arrives and climbs the wall. Frederick knows all he can do is transfer some of his brain to the monster. So they put them through this machine together just as the mob arrives. They pick up Frederick, and the monster shouts to let them down. All of a sudden, he can speak. As long as I can remember, people have hated me, looking at my face and body running away in horror. If I can't inspire love and hope, I will create fear and horror. I live because this poor half-crazed genius gave me life. He alone gave me life. Then when it would be easier to stay out of it, he used his own intellect to give me a better brain and a way to express myself. And they all go, we didn't understand you. And they
all is forgiven.
They're going to go to Kent's house for something to eat until he shakes his hand and rips it off. And then he goes to the lumber yard to get a new hand. I'm not entirely sure.
So at current rate of technology progress, it's speculated that mind uploading or complete brain emulations for possible transference could become a reality as early as 2045. The memory capacity for a brain is estimated to be 2.5 million gigabytes. That's the equivalent of 500 million episodes of 100 Things We Learn from Film. So, come on, boys. Get cracking with those episodes.
We're on it.
Jesus, what an abnormal brain would have that many episodes in it.
Full of good facts, though.
That's the facts of the episode.
Nobody would fit all them in bloody Dropbox, big man.
Would that'd be like that fucking terrible Johnny Depp film where
Johnny Mnemonic?
No, where they upload he's dying of cancer and they upload his brain to the internet and he takes over the internet and causes the downfall of civilization. I said that, yeah.
So I thought all I heard was Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh right, Johnny Mnemonic.
All I heard was Johnny and upload. That's it. I just went straight to Johnny Mnemonic.
I have started watching that. Is it called Substance or something?
Something like that.
I have started watching that film 3 times and I cannot get past 30 minutes in. It's so bad. And I really, really want to see where I want to see where it goes. I know where it fucking goes. He destroys the fucking internet. Yeah. Anyway, it's just so bad. How can a film with so many good people in it be so bad? With somebody else also got Johnny Depp and that fucking skinny mate of his, Paul Bettany. He's also a prick, isn't he? He was the one that that said he was going to murder Amber. What's her face? They had recordings of him saying he was going to murder Amber Heard.
Yeah.
And if he wanted, he could help get her murdered and that kind of. And nothing came of that. Nothing. And the guy's still
they weren't
acting
bothered
today.
about that.
He was going to get a Tiger King in and try and get off. With Carol, 2-for-1 deal. 2-for-1.
I will never financially recover from this shit in a bed. Sometime later, we see the married Inga and Frederick on their wedding night. Inga's humming the tune from the violin, and it causes Frederick to fall into a trance. Then we're with the monster and Elizabeth. He's in bed with these half-moon glasses on, reading the Wall Street Journal. Great. Honey, did you see I put a special hamper in the bathroom for socks, and the others for vest and poo-poo undies? And I was like, this is my fucking life. She comes out and she's got the brilliant Elsa Lanchester Bride of Frankenstein beehive. It's beautiful and I love it. It's got the white streaks up it. And obviously they then get together. She does this on her bum. It's great. So yeah. Inga says to Fred, the monster got your brain, but what did you get in return? And he just goes, "Arr!" And the joke is he's got a big knob. I'm not sure how it works, but get me in that fucking machine.
Physical transference.
That's all I'm going to say. Get me in the machine, please. Rachel's paying whatever it takes. And that's the film. That is the film. Right, Aaron, as the guest, what other facts have you got?
Oh, let's have a look. So Danny Goldman played the inquisitive medical student. He also voiced Brainy Smurf from 1981 to 1989.
Okay.
Let's have a look. When Frederick stabs himself, accidental stabbings or sharp injuries are surprisingly common amongst medical staff, with over 100,000 injuries in the NHS every year.
Yes, I know.
Marty Feldman's first job was at Dreamland in Margate, which is near where I was brought up.
Oh, right.
Thought to be one of the UK's oldest amusement parks. It's made more comebacks than Rocky. And in August 2019, the park unveiled a 7-metre inflatable sculpture of Tina Turner's head. That's not the best thing about it. Created by the wonderfully named Cool Shit.
No way. That is cool shit.
Is it still open then?
No, of course not.
Right.
It's probably closed again. Right? I went there like a couple of years ago. It was open. I was there for 7 days. It opened and shut at least twice.
Fucking hell. What was it like when you were a kid? Was it like just
fucking awful?
Oh, was it? Yeah, okay.
Wow. Gene Wilder would only appear in the film if Mel Brooks stayed off camera. Yep. Peter Boyle met his future wife set on set.
Oh, I had me hooked there. I was hooked.
I know, me too.
Hello.
Aaron died on the way back to his home planet.
We're so close, Israel. We're so close.
I tell you what, while he's gone, we'll do some facts. What have you got, John?
Mel Brooks' directorial debut was The Producers in 1968. Mm-hmm. Gene Wilder collaborated with Mel Brooks 3 times, but he collaborated with Richard Pryor 4 times, so he's got a favourite. None of the Frankenstein's science is accurate at all. So I was trying to look this up. There were theories at the time. Nowadays, they could freeze bodies stuff like that, but even then, they're thinking they can't preserve or they can't reanimate flesh. You can buy an antique HMV gramophone, fully function. It's a wind-up player for £246.
Oh, wow.
It's actually, look, that looks quite good. Marty Feldman could not play the piano, even though it shows him playing the piano in the Ritz scene. It shows him without his hump.
Oh, is he on the piano in that? I've never noticed that.
That's him
10, 20 times.
His hair out and everything. It's just no hump. He's just there as like a piano player. It was nominated for 2 Oscars, one for Best Sound and the other was for Best Adapted Screenplay for Mel Brooks. And the iconic poster was made by a guy called John Alvin. He also did E.T., Blade Runner, Gremlins, Goonies, Little Mermaid, Batman Returns, Aladdin, and the Lion King posters.
Bloody hell.
It's a lot in it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Absolutely. Gremlins.
There
he is. Do you want to start the Peter Boyle one again? We did some stuff in the meantime.
Peter Boyle met his future wife on set. Lorraine Auterman was a reporter for the Rolling Stones magazine who was sent to do a write-up of the movie. The pair were married in 1977 and stayed together until his death in 2006. To celebrate the 40th anniversary of the film in 2014, Mel Brooks got a street named after him. Mel Brooks Boulevard can be found just outside Fox's studio, Stage 5, where Young Frankenstein was shot. And can I just bring it back to zombies? Well, because Max Brooks, Mel's son, wrote the Zombie Survival Guide and its follow-up, World War Z. And that's Z, like the letter of the alphabet.
Two of my favourite books. And Rachel and I, not long after we got together, not long after we started going out, I bought her a copy of the Zombie Survival Guide just in case.
Nice.
Because
you will need it at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've read that so many times. John, any more?
No, I managed to squeeze them all out before Aaron came back on.
That's exactly what you do. Okay, I have got probably one or two. Mel Brooks, Melvin James Kaminsky, changed his name because in the 30s and 40s there was a well-known trumpet player called Max Kaminsky. Brookman was his mother's maiden name, so he just used that. A variation of that. And of course, he has won one of our favourite awards, boys. He is an EGOT winner, which means he's won an Emmy for 1967 Sid Caesar Special and 3 Emmys for Mad About You. Do you remember Mad About You?
Mm-hmm.
I loved that, even though it had that arsehole Carter Burke in it. I say we take off from space and nuke it. And the lady from Twister as well. Grammy in 1998 for the 2,000-year-old man in the year 2000, and in 2002 for a recording of The Producers. An Oscar in 1968 for Best Original Screenplay, The Producers, and 2024 Lifetime Achievement, and 3 Tonys in 2001 for The Producers. So technically, gentlemen, he has won 2 EGOTs.
Nice.
He got nobody.
Fantastic. Right, that's it. That's all I've got. So I'm just going to top them up. Aaron, do you want to have a guess at how many?
Oh, for a short film, it felt like a lot. So I'm going to go for maybe 92.
John, can you go higher?
Oh, God. I think we've done both. Collectively, we've done all right. I think maybe 112.
Oh, 108.
That's good. Well done, boys.
The little man
Well
went over the mountain edge. Yeah, that's exactly what happened there.
Peak too soon.
Story of my life. Fantastic. Aaron, thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. It's been a pleasure.
That film, it's so much fun. It really is. And a lot shorter than some of the other ones that you potentially picked, even though I really want to do Cuckoo's Nest at some point.
Oh, I can appreciate
don't think
why
I
you
could have
changed.
found 6 hours to watch it twice. Again, tell us about your podcast, please.
Oh, we are Zed1. I traipse around the zombie apocalypse and the Cotswolds along with my good lady wife, trying to survive the apocalypse and also our marriage one episode at a time.
Absolutely. Fantastic. A lot of fun wherever you get your podcasts. Get involved in that and drop them a review. They are much more popular than we are. And it's understandable because it's actually fucking written instead of this stramash of nonsense.
Smash.
Instead of us just going fucking mental. Of course, Aaron has paid £1 a month, which allows him on the wheel. We're taking his name off the wheel and we're going to give it another spin. I'll probably do that tonight and drop a post out for somebody to pick. By the end of October, I think we'll do the next one. We'll do an episode.
It's such a wonderful idea. I was so.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We really enjoy giving people a chance to actually pick a film of their own. It's not got to the absolute wankers yet who are going to pick. I don't know.
So far,
fucking Eyes Without a Face, or something like the fucking Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and stuff. I'm fucking not going to.
Those are just your patrons.
Yeah, exactly. We know what they're like. We know what they're like. But yeah, give us a quid at patreon.com/100thingsfilm. We're going to shout out those lovely people now. We got James, we got Lee, Candy, Oodles, Biggie, Gadget, and Stig from Modern Escapism, Kieran, Jake, lovely Rob Jones, Jen, of course, we're thinking about you, Jen, Megan, Dale, and Ali, Maria and Ian from Cult Connections, Paul from SP Film Viewers, Ian McComish, Nigel Davies, Dan and Gavin Belson, some prick called Aaron Huggett, Joe Higgins, as well as James are from Hallmark Greats. By the way, if you like 90s British TV, shit British game shows, we've done some virtual reality stuff the past couple of episodes. So we have got an episode coming up in a couple of weeks, which is the classic Nightmare, but at the minute we've done Cyberzone. Do you remember Cyberzone, lads?
I heard it. Yeah,
Craig Charles in the 90s.
Yeah,
it's fucking hilariously bad, and the podcast was a lot of fun. So yeah, get on that. Hallmark of Greatness. Mono and Kira. We've got Gav McGill. We've got Josh Wilson, super familiar with the Wilsons. Rachel, and of course Phil. So thank you so much for your support, and we absolutely love it, and we love you all right, lovely.
Yes.
John, any final words to say? Words is like I'm fucking silencing you for life.
I'll go away now. I'll get my coat. No, just a big thanks to James for that first fact. That was lovely, and we'll remember doing this.
Yeah, forever. Yeah, forever here now. As long as we keep paying for the for the podcast to exist. As soon as you don't, it's gone. Yeah. Anyway, jokes aside. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you
so
much.
Gentlemen, Aaron, thanks so much. John, as always, the best part of my fucking week. This, and we'll be back with some more spoopy stuff and spin on the wheel.
I appreciate
for
that.
now,
yeah.
He's been Aaron, he's been John, I've been Planty, and this has been 108 Things We Learned from Young Frankenstein. See ya.
See you guys.
See ya.